Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. As today, we delve ever deeper into this den of depravity. Though really, with the most obvious threats cleared, I'm honestly not sure how much of this place we have left. But let's find out. I mean, I do assume that we still have that Plague Bearer. That, I think, is going to be our final boss. The one unfortunate Voidsman who carried that kernel of corruption onto this ship in the first place. The corpse's flesh has crystallized and turned into a translucent sarcophagus, and sealed within is the slop of their putrefying organs. Yeah, good luck with that, chum. The walls of the lift shaft are coated in a layer of putrefying goo, containing revolting growths, the bodies of the people trapped within it.
Over.
Where there is death, you will find his gardens. Where there is decay, you will find his power. Neat. I've got to say, I think of the various chaos powers, Nurgle's gotta be my least favorite.
I always have a backup plan.
I mean, he's interesting, but, yeesh. Oop. Yet more mooks, and another organ-infested chamber. And there he is, Patient Zero. Also an occluding sphere. What am I looking at? It's like a diving bell? Yeah, definitely more of a terrain feature than an actual enemy, but weird. What is... Let's see what this thing actually does. Blessing of Rot. Creates a shield that grants plus 3 MP. Also, it's invincible. Death of creatures under its control deals direct damage. I see. Okay, so... Right, yes, they're very clearly setting us up for, like, an endurance battle here. We have to kill all of its followers to actually destroy the sphere. Which we can certainly do.
How may I serve the dynasty?
I mean, I'm sure there's more to it than that, but we'll just start whittling, see where things go from there.
Farewell.
3 direct damage. And yes, it's down 6 hit points, so... Oh boy. If we're talking 3 direct damage per casualty, this is going to take quite a while. Though perhaps the tougher targets do commensurately higher damage. We'll have Abby beeline for that Plague Bearer. If that is, in fact, Patient Zero, then that might do some hefty damage to this thing. I imagine the guards will do more damage to it as well, as opposed to the weaker cannon fodder we cleared with that initial blast. All right, let's do this. First things first.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Keep the Plague Bearer contained.
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
Pascal. Let's get past that going. And kill zone. Dodge zone for Abby. We'll let someone else set the sniper zone. Clear this guy. Nice. And yes, 6 direct damage for the guard. So it's 3 for the mooks, 6 for the guards. And question mark for patient 0. Surprised they didn't actually give that guy a name. Though I guess technically it's not him. It's a thing that came out of him. Reel him in.
Get out of my way!
Trap set off. Immobilize applied. Let's get Abby in there.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Nice. 3 for the orb. Warp speed, Mr. Abby. Already running pretty light on targets here.
But of course.
Rude.
I serve the ruinous powers!
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to spit out reinforcements at some point, right? Because otherwise, there are not enough people here for us to actually kill it. Not unless killing the Plague Bearer over there does massive damage.
Fortune favors the swift. I understand your intent.
I guess we should focus on that. See what that does for us.
Death to non-believers!
No, thank you. And Abby.
My place is at the fore.
Let's get you tucked in.
Victory is imminent.
Nice. Valen? Smoke cleared. Focus down the Plague Bearer.
I'll see to it personally.
Oh, shit.
You can do
Best
worse,
defense is a
but
good
not by
offense.
much.
Yeah, sorry about that, Abby. I mean, look, you took that shot like a champ. Well, that was not what I was going for, but it would appear that Abby actually ate it, so good for him.
Chaos guides me!
I will keep that in mind should we ever be at odds.
Death to the weak!
Pascal. And there we go. We've got reinforcements. Not much, but it's something. Let's stack more pass tack. Pass tack stacked. Attack! One more out. 6 more damage. Prop up Abby. Actually, prop up Adira.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Be gone.
Lovely. 2 more out, 6 more damage. And pull.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Or not.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Not quite what I was going for, but that's fine. Still better than shooting Abby in the spine.
On it. Will do. What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Horrors of the warp. What just happened?
Yet iron knows no pain.
Ancestors guide me.
Seems fine. Let's break that plague. Though, first. Oh, that's gonna be close.
I am not your Xenos pet monkey.
Yeah. There we go. 15. Okay. Less than I would have liked, but it's something.
If I must.
Just a minor setback.
Let's try to get Abby over here. Reinforcements seem to spawn right next to the orb. So the faster we can engage the, Oh yeah, didn't even notice you. I guess that's what was blocking our charge.
I will do my duty.
Let me go ahead and clear up that loose end real quick.
I'll make it happen.
And reposition. Want to make sure we have a nice, clear line of sight to the new front line.
It's as good as done.
You know, gotta keep Abby in that line of fire.
Death to non-believers.
Lovely.
Chaos guides me.
I do love that counterattack stance.
Death to the weak.
Still got a ways to go on
Out
that
of my
orb.
way.
Oh, okay. That is slightly closer than I thought you'd be, but I can work with that.
to serve.
Here we go. Let's go for a 1-2-3 combo.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
First we lay the trap. And take a pot shot, I guess.
High momentum.
6 more damage. Gather, ye wretches, so that you might be seen.
Powers!
Oh, didn't leave enough points for gaze. That's fine. Honestly, at this point, I think it's pretty obvious that unless there's some big late act twist, we've got this pretty well handled. This thing sought to inspire fear and loathing. Turns out it's just a big old square. Interesting concept. It's just woefully underpowered for even my particularly unwieldy builds. Though I do look forward to getting some lore, finding some context on exactly what this thing is. Let's bring Yrliet up. Keep laying down those traps.
Was that you?
And Whittle. Nice. Also nice. One more out, 3 more damage. Gotta be getting close at this point.
Another enemy down. On it.
Out of my way! I serve the ruinous powers!
Yeah? And how's that working out for you?
Death to non-believers!
Pass attack. Kill zone. And 2 more for the pile. Reinforcements on site. Let's bring Cassie up, get her close to the fight.
At your beck and call.
And another one down. Another one down. Hull?
Death to the ruinous powers!
Buffs, I guess. Why not?
But of course. Anything is. Farewell.
Nice. That was 3 more, I think. Slap a trap.
I am not your Xenos pet monkey.
Well, hi there. Am not your Xenos pet monkey. It's nice to meet you. Holy... I'm sorry, what... Okay, so clearly I missed something somewhere along the line here.
Indeed.
Abby, you just do your thing. I'm gonna have to maybe retask Pask. Yeah, that's a blood letter. Like, did we summon that, or... I cannot wait to review this footage.
Who, if not me?
Death to non-believers!
Nice.
Chaos guides me.
Sphere's almost out, but we do have one other slight concern now.
Death to the weak.
Right, so death to you. Gotcha. Happy to oblige.
Out of my way!
Alright, so... let's do something about this.
Request Request approved.
We're going to set up for a pull, so let's make sure we're not blocking.
Advancing. Initiating Fire Reformation Protocol.
I owe you one.
And let her rip.
Do not dare ask.
Death to the non-believers!
Nice. Crisis averted. Let's wrap this up.
Me?
Chaos guides
If you
me.
insist, Lord Captain. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
I suppose I should really have Adira warp speed herself before anyone else, so she can buff faster. Which would also summon more bloodletters, so, you know. Maybe not.
Why me?
Oh, that was just an Eldari love tap. You're fine. That means she likes you. You can tell because it wasn't fatal.
I understand your intent. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
Yeah, I got it the first time.
Brace yourself, Abelard. It will be done.
Brace yourself, Abelard!
At your beck and call.
At your beck and call.
You never stood a chance.
Oh, we are so close. Okay, come on. No, go for the easy kill. And that'll do it. Not too shabby. Bit of a slog, but the bloodletter certainly spice things up, as they are wont to do. Okay, let's give this place a gander. See what there is to seize. No drops on the corpses, but we did get a Master of Arms seal. The carved seal belonging to a senior officer, which serves as a key for the most important weapons store. Right, that must be for the chest we passed earlier. And a ship's log by Inquisitor Uton Hall, which I assume is this unfortunate fellow right here. One less loose end to worry about, I suppose. A guide for voidsmen. Also, an unholy shard. This amulet reduces all toxic damage suffered by the wearer by 50%. If the wearer has heretical votary, they also heal 1 wound per heretical rank each time they suffer toxic damage. Okay, so it really just kind of offsets toxic damage. Cool. I'll take it. Really don't see us getting much use out of that, but maybe I'm just missing something. Rest of the room seems clear. Let's circle back, crank that chest real quick. That's got to be our real prize.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Then we'll peek through those lore books, see if that fills in some gaps. It was the far end of the hall, right? Over here. Tempestus Carapace. Decent stats, +2 deflection versus ranged. And a stock Inferno pistol. Plus a modest assortment of various contraband. You know, not as exciting as I might have hoped, but I think we did pull something useful there. Yes, that is a notable upgrade. That's for tank. Thanks for that. Looking good, Abby. And now the lore. In the grim darkness of the distant future, there is only lore. Guide for Voidsmen. Voidsmen, by the grace of the Emperor, you have been given the honor of serving on a black ship of the Inquisition. You have been entrusted with a unique cargo, psychers collected from the Imperium's worlds as their rightly owed tithe. Do not be deceived by their appearance. Every one of them is a dangerous mutant. Be strict with the passengers, for that is how you safeguard the lives of yourself and your comrades. You must be blind to tears, and deaf to pleas. Listen to the passengers' conversations and report any groupings that form among them to the ship's confessor. Any groups will be split into different holds to prevent a coordinated revolt. Check for certain that the passengers are eating all of their rations. They contain tranquilizers intended to ensure your and your comrades' safety. Pay attention to any strange occurrences. Psyker corruption comes in many forms. Passengers that exhibit extraordinary abilities must be transferred to reinforced cells for solitary confinement. Do not engage in conversation with the passengers. Do not refer to them by name. Do not give them your possessions. Do not allow them to lose their fear of you. Their fear is the key to your survival. Appear before the ship's confessor every month to have the purity of your thoughts checked. Remember that blasphemous psychers can play with the minds of real people. Keep the faith and follow these rules. Failure to observe any of them will be grounds for dismissal. That actually does give us some very valuable context. It does clearly illustrate why that Voidsman was so paranoid about being dismissed. Though, for good reason, I mean, obviously. There's also mention of a reinforced solitary confinement cell. That must be what the orb was prior to all this happening. Which does paint a fairly clear picture. A highly dangerous psyker kept isolated. A deliberately infected Voidsman for him to sink his psychic hooks into. Ship's log. The ship's log is encrypted, but the last entry was written in Gothic. I, Inquisitor Uton Hall, captain of the black ship Monarchia's Bane, write this record for the eyes of any faithful servant of the Emperor who may chance to read it. My vessel dutifully departed Terra to collect the Imperium's rightful tithes from its loyal worlds, and then to return to the Segmentum Solar with thousands of psychers in our holds. Our mission was proceeding smoothly, but shortly after our warp jump, the incident occurred. The main confinement cell was the source of the insurrection. It was the holding site for an especially dangerous passenger, who possessed high psychic potential and was known to incite disobedience in others. I do not know how he was able to free himself or how he summoned the forces of chaos to abet him. His psychic outburst spread rapidly across the entire vessel, sending other passengers into a frenzy and causing them to attack my acolytes. I have given the order for the passenger holds to be purged and activated the automatic intruder elimination systems, but I have no doubt that this measure will be unsuccessful. Not wishing to surrender the Monarchia's bane into the hands of these deranged mutants, I have set course to orbit a nearby planet at a slight deviation. Sooner or later, the deviation will result in the ship drifting out of orbit and crashing to the planet's surface. Keep the faith, and exterminate any mercy in your soul. Okay, yeah, picture complete. That does indeed match what we already speculated based on the rest of the info we found. A dangerous psychic, a deliberately infected voidsman, resulting in an uncontrollable eldritch infestation, which ultimately brought the ship down and killed everyone on board. Well, maybe not everyone, but the ones who did survive only did so to suffer a fate that does seem several times worse than actual death. I am curious, though, because, I was already speculating as to why the Inquisition would be collecting psychics, rather than just eliminating them. But here it specifically mentions that they're a rightful tithe for the Imperial homeworld, I guess? This ship is from Terra. The Voidsman's guide also said that, which does make me wonder what they actually use them for. I'm sure it's explained in the books, but as aforementioned, I only have a passing knowledge of the setting. I'm assuming it has something to do with the Emperor, perhaps harnessing their powers in an effort to somehow restore him. I am sure several of you will elaborate upon this mystery in the comments down below. Aside from that, though, I really appreciate how well all of these various bits and pieces of lore they've fed us fit together. It really does create a fairly comprehensive picture, even for someone like me, who only has a passing familiarity with the deeper lore. That is one thing I've always appreciated about Owlcat, is how well they handle the lore, with the assumption that, of course, not everyone coming into the game is going to be an expert on the setting. Anyway, let's get back to the RetconRaider. I think we're pretty much done here, but we should have enough time to hit the crossroads. Lord Captain, this is Voxmaster Vigdis Suri Otta Toloman speaking. I hope your heroic expedition was a success. What will be your further instructions?
The machine spirit of this vessel is dead and defiled. It should be sent to the Omnissiah in a proper nuclear funeral rite.
Ooh. I mean, I would really like to salvage this thing, but at the same time, based on what we saw down there, I feel like sending anyone into it is probably a bad idea. And, I mean, while Valen might have been skeptical about the whole chaos thing early on, I think he's probably seen enough at this point to accept that you should at least be cautious around it. Not to mention, of course, his whole Forge World upbringing would give him a vested respect for the remains of a once noble machine. As Pask said, we'll nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. As you wish, Lord Captain. The power of our main battery should be enough to penetrate the glacier and evaporate the vessel completely. +5 dogmatic. Unexpected, I'll take that. I guess looting it would have been heresy. Not sure about the other one. And 3 points shy on dogmatic. I would like to at least bump us up to rank 1. You know, I really wanted to mix and match our choices a bit more, but you know, I have received a ton of warnings that we really do need to specialize. We'll see what happens. Alright, let's hit those crossroads. Lord Captain, I keep receiving reports about malfunctions among the various ship systems. This time we are dealing with inexplicable temperature fluctuations. Thermal control failures were observed not only in individual compartments, but even in the soldiers' protective equipment. Several crew members have suffered from burns and frostbite. The tech priests are performing the rites of machine spirit pacification and remain convinced that the issues were caused by the spirit's obstinacy and defiance. Their reports claim the incidents remain well within the scope of expected performance parameters. Over the last few days, complaints about the malfunctioning thermal controls have dwindled, but the crew members have started whispering that our vessel is haunted. The tech priest's assurances that only the machine spirit's tempers are to blame are doing nothing to dissuade these ridiculous rumors. We are getting way more warnings about technical errors than we did back in early access. Curious to see where that all goes. And look at that. We've got a relatively straight shot to Mundus Valancius. So once we're done here, we can head straight for Dargonus. That's pretty much guaranteed to be the next stop on our journey. Though man, that does leave a lot of other still unexplored sectors on our star map. We'll have to try to pace that stuff out between the broader strokes of our main quest line. Oh, enemies of humanity. Sure, why not? Let's round this episode out with a bang. You're facing Chaos Worshippers. It seems their ships have been lying in wait here. The Voxmaster reports an incoming transmission. Yeah, I think we'll pass. I'm already well aware of their corrupted Voxcasts. Don't answer that. Open fire. Leave them strewn across the stars. Alright, what are we up against? Oh, murder class cruiser. That's new. Plus a couple of infidel class raiders. At 2 raiders. Nice. Okay, so Warp Wave does work on cruisers. So let's do this. We'll go in for a strafing run, but then push it away. Oh wow, that didn't even get through their shields. That's not ideal. Okay, angle away. This is where those shorter range mag guns come back to bite us. But it's fine. Let's see what they can do. We've got torpedoes. Oh. Oh, they deployed fighters. Oh. Okay, we might be slightly outclassed here. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to say this is a fight we were not supposed to pick this early on. Okay, well. We'll at least go down fighting. So we can do damage. The shields aren't nigh impenetrable. This is, however, definitely a fight that is a bit beyond our ken with our current gear. Man, those fighters are brutal. They really tore us up. And we just need stronger guns in general. We're going to blow up, but let's at least try the mag guns on them real quick. Yeah, okay. Alright, farewell, cruel world. I leave my remains strewn across the stars. I always knew when my time came it would be at the hands of a raider. Oh, wow. They launch every round. And thus, the noble Valen von Valancius of Reality 72C perished. But such a fate was not shared by Valen von Valancius of Reality 72D. He took one look at that Chaos fleet and decided to just go the other way. Ooh, Phlogiston. That's a rare resource. We'll take it. Yeah, I figure at this point we'll just scan these 5 planets, then call it a day. Leave the fleet for later. That's a problem for future retcon to worry about. Clear. We'll have to grind rep with the Imperial Navy. Unlock a bunch of new upgraded parts before we can even hope to handle that. 6 Promethium. Yeah, we'll take that. Clear. Surprised we haven't found any POIs. Maybe here? Wow, okay. Gotta say, 5 planets, I really figured we'd find something. But apparently not. Okay, well that was less time consuming than I thought it might be. Let's check our colonies. Oh, here we go. We've unlocked a new project. Good tidings. Reward scales with dogmatism. Not really our thing, though. If we can at least get 3 more points. It's either that or a sword, it would seem. Oh, but that's a fanatical crusade. That's definitely not our style. Not to mention, of course, we just don't have the resources for it anyway. Yeah, you know what? I think Good Tidings is just way more Valen style. even if the reward isn't optimized. Good tidings. The Order of the Hammer has a closely held and ambitious dream to erect a giant spire that will reach up to Foulstone's orbit. From there, a powerful Vox station will broadcast prayers and sermons to the entire planet, while the voice of an astropathic choir will carry the sacred words all across the Coronis expanse. The good tidings will be heard throughout the Vox spectrum, rallying the Imperium subjects. Yeah, we'll go for it. How about you, Janus? What have you got going on, aside from grenades? Nothing much. Fair enough. Ooh. We need to bump up our Caspelika rep. Oh, actually, well, wait. Ah, crud. Okay, so we have to... We'll actually have to choose between Explorators or Caspelika for that one. I'll have to mull on that, though my gut says Explorators. But, you know, I'll, that at least will be a more nuanced choice. Murder crusades are explicitly not Valin's style, not unless it's someone he's got a personal vendetta against. And that said, yeah, I think that brings us to a pretty good stopping point. I would push on to Mundus Valancius, but I'm worried we might trigger an event. Or maybe we'll deliberately provoke one by taking a dangerous course without burning navigation points. I am curious to see if they drop more lore items in other random encounters. We'll put a pin in that for now and maybe check it out next time around. But for now, we hit the pause button, I take care of the usual bookkeeping, and we will pick up here next time as we chart a course and find out who put the onus in that there Dargonus. See you then. That's terrible. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Revenant, Alois, CrowkingLoR, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, ErieV23, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.